let's continue talking about movement on top when it comes to keeping top position, because at the higher level, this is extremely important. If you do not move when you're on top, you're not going to keep the top position. I don't really care how long you've been training. If you do not know how to move on top, then the chances of you actually having a good top game are extremely low. And the focus of this topic is based off of the fact that I've asked thousands of people what problems they were having, and the number one thing is they're having trouble staying on top. So instead of focusing on just basically holding one single position, I'm focusing on the concept of movement on top to help you stay on top. So let's talk about this a little bit more. And I'm just going to kind of give you some examples from each particular position. Okay, so let's first talk side control here. Here like this, okay? I position. I lose my space on my head. So normally I should have my head down, but I don't. So he puts his frame underneath my neck here. This is a signal that I have to move, okay? One place that I can move is I can shoot my arm through and get him in like a regular scarf hold position here. Another thing that I can do is I can switch to a modified scarf hold, just like this. But the difference is he still has pressure on my neck, okay? So I still might have to deal with this. Another position I can move to when he has this same position is I can pop up to a knee on belly position. He's basically taking that direction already. Another position I can move to, he goes under, and I can shoot this arm through and switch to reverse scarf hold. This is one of my favorite top positions because I'm taking his arms out. I can see from his chest down, and he actually can't see anything that's going on. That's why I really like the reverse scarf hold. Another position, when he goes to do that, here, I can come here, block his hip, and switch to north-south. So if you notice that, I went over a bunch of different things just from this one particular scenario. So if you're losing your position, if you feel like there's so much space and you can't hold the person comfortably, move, okay? I'm giving you some ideas. There might be more things. There's definitely more things, but I want you to move. So let's go back to that again. So we're here like this, okay? One scenario, another scenario, I talked about the drill. If he goes to underhook me, right, boom, I can come here and redirect to this side. He goes to do that again, boom, I block, and then I do the drill. That's going to be the main one that I do. If he does go to underhook me again, right, so this one, instead of doing the drill, if you don't feel comfortable doing that, switch to scarf hold, and then drive your elbow back. So we put pressure with our body, we drive our elbow back. So now when he goes to drive me up or do any of these things, it becomes difficult for him to do this. Okay? I'm basically moving and I'm putting pressure on his arm in an opposite direction of the pressure that he wants to do. Let's say, for example, I have him in the scarf hold position. Right? So I'm here. He puts a hard frame on my neck. And I feel like I'm starting to lose my position. I gotta move. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna take this arm, I'm gonna bring it over to the other side, and at the same time I'm gonna bring my knee up. So I'm gonna go like this, here. Then I'm gonna turn to north-south because I'm losing my position. And also, look, this is setting up submissions. His arm is across his face. This may not always happen, but it does happen a lot. And I'm here like this. I can start working for attacks on him. So these movements not only are going to help you stay on top, but they're also going to present themselves with possible submission attacks as well. So I'm here like this, right? Let's say, for example, he takes his near side elbow. We'll turn this way. So he takes his near side elbow and he drops it down into my hip. Now I'm losing my position. More often than not, he's going to start turning into me, right? Oh, I redirect to the other side. We do the drill. The drill is extremely underrated. You're gonna basically anytime anybody turns into you like this, more often than not, you're gonna do the drill. It's a scarf hold, side control, whatever. If he turns into me, I'm gonna just redirect to the other side. Let's say, for example, I have the north-south position on him, right? So I have like a good over-under north-south, and then I feel like he might be doing something. I don't know. So start doing something crazy. But you can start doing something here. I'm gonna start moving to the side control position. I see that I'm losing my north-south, so I start moving back to side control because I don't want him to create a lot of space so he can start escaping. But now we're back in side control, right? let's say, for example, he starts underhooking me with this arm. We're combining things. Boom. Now I have him in the scarf hold position. Now let's say he starts framing my neck, right? I go back to north-south. Here. Let's say now I voluntarily go to a reverse scarf hold from this particular scenario. And then he starts turning into me. So he starts turning into me. He starts dropping his elbow on me. I'll start walking back to the north-south position. I'm combining my movements, right? I'm not being stagnant. I feel like I'm losing a position. I'm losing a situation. So I move, and then I move, and then I move, and I move. Let's say, for example, I have the knee on belly, right? So if I have the knee on belly position on him, and he pushes my knee off and starts turning into me, boom, I hit the drill. Once again, it's the same kind. If he turns into me hard, I hit the redirection drill on him. All right? You're going to find that this is going to be a repetitive thing that I talk about on the Grappler's Guide because it's extremely underrated. It's super useful. Once again, I'm here. Boom. Let's say he starts trying to push my foot into like a half guard position. Right? I came up, so let's go back. Here, so I lost that one. So he starts going to push here. I can come up and possibly switch. All right, and notice how timing is a factor. I didn't time it right, and he was able to push my foot into the half guard. Timing is a factor when these things happen. Initially, when you start, it's not always going to work. But we keep working on it and working on it and working on it, and then your timing is going to get better. Even if for some reason I was here, right, and he went to go push, and my foot ended up in between. Like this, I can use this to possibly start working other things. I get an underhook in this side, and then I work to basically solidify my position by going quickly into a guard pass that is in relation to the movement that I was trying to do. So now we're not only connecting moving on top, we're connecting other type of situations. So I'm connecting passes with scenarios that happen within the situations that we're doing. Basically, you want to make your opponent predictable. You learn all the major scenarios for moving from one position to the next. It starts making them predictable, and it starts making your decisions easier for you when it comes to moving on top. Let's say I have the mount position, right? I talked about this in another video. He goes to do an elbow knee escape. Boom! I feel like he's escaping, so I get off to the knee on belly position. So now he goes to escape the knee on belly position. Here, I come through, and I redirect. All right, it was a sloppy redirect, but I did it. Let's say he turns away from me for whatever reason. I can follow him and work to take his back. I'm being dynamic. I'm on top, and I'm saying to him, I don't care what you do, what you try to do, I'm gonna stay on top by switching positions. I'm not stubborn. Now, if you have good position, so if I have good, strong side control and everything feels good, you don't need to do this stuff. You don't need to move from one position to the next. But more often than not, you're going to have to do this at some point. It's very rare to roll with somebody who's at the same skill level as you or even more skilled than you and not having to do this. Because if you don't do this, the person's going to escape. So you want to study the positions that you can move into from each major position. You want to study when is a proper time to move from each major position in each major situation, and then how you can solidify your position to make sure that none of these scenarios happen anymore. And all those things are going to lead into submission attempts because you're going to be able to see things more as well. If you are a Grappler's Guide member, if you go in the Top Game program, there's literally videos that talk about all this stuff. It talks about when you should move, how you should keep the position, and where you should move. Study all these different things and practice them, turn them into drills. If you essentially, this is basically just one big drill. He's moving one way, based off of where he moves, I move. He moves again, based off of where he moves, I move. And so on and so forth. And then eventually, during the drill, I might go for a random submission just to see if I can get a quick catch on them. So focus on these things. I think they're really going to help you out if you just put this concept into play. If you have any questions or comments, let me know. Send me an email or post below. All right.